So I picked up a cool order from Mystery Tackle Box on shopcarls.com for Valentine's Day. I got this and all of this for right at $9. This is a grab bag or grab box type deal. It came with bullet weights. Move that so it focuses. A square bill by Max Lure. Sticky trailer hooks. Lucky John hammer sticks. A Catchco spinnerbait. A Reaction Strike Ranger crankbait in a bluegill pattern. Dobbins half-ounce spinnerbait. The D-Blade. Mustad Ultra Point Big Eye Bucktail hair jig. Big Bite bait. Little paddle tails. Some Rage Menace in a blue crawl color. Bass Dynasty, the Dynapad paddle. This is dual-sided paddle tail. And then the rear loader swing jig, like a little rugby or football jig. I know a lot of people are going to say they have already gotten the stuff or whatever, but I get the tournament series box, and some of the stuff that was in the XL and Pro boxes and stuff I didn't get. So even if I had it to pay $5 and get all of this, $9 including this though, but for all of this it's worth it just to have replacements. We'll look a little more into some of these crankbaits and stuff. I almost forgot about this cool sticker. I don't want to leave it out. It's probably one of my favorite ones. But first off is this little Reaction Strike Ranger, the bluegill pattern. It dives 2 to 4 foot. I'd crank it on 10-pound fluoro, up to 15, just depending on what I'm cranking around. This should do really good on the bass pull-up shallow, looking to spawn or spawning, depending on what your lakes are doing at that time. But I mean, bass eat bluegill, and this is the perfect size to get munched. This is a cool bait just as a wacky rig concept. It has 2 paddle tails. It's called the Dynapaddle ×2, I think is how it's labeled or whatever. But you should get some cool action with 2 paddle tails. It should displace water pretty good. I've never tried it, but I definitely will. So this Sticky's trailer hook can really save you if you are fishing a spinnerbait or chatterbait. You just literally put the hook through this little eyelet that's coated. That little coating helps it stay on. But if you're getting short strikes, they will get snagged by this. Not snagged, but caught. These little big bite bait paddle tail little swim baits are pretty cool. Perfect size for an Alabama rig, back of a little swim jig. You could even put it on that rear end loader. It's down in the water, the tail kick, look like shad eating off the bottom. Or even during the spawn, if you throw it on a bed, a little tail kicking, it's gonna piss the fish off. They're gonna smash it. But I really like this color. It's almost got like a purplish gray. I don't know. It's pretty though. Pretty cool. So this is the Runt by Catchco. It's in a chartreuse gill, I think, or highlighter. I don't remember which color I got. But a lot of people just think this is a little bitty square bill or whatnot. But this is literally a chatterbait with treble hooks. This thing smashes fish. It has a wider tail than the lip, so it has a super wide, fast wobble. Puts off a lot of motion. And I'm thinking this may be similar to it, but I'm not 100% sure. It may be a little more deep diving. So it runs very similar to the Movement by 6th Sense, like the L7 or the Movement 80. It doesn't run very deep. It's almost like a wake bait, chatterbait. however you want to look at it. But it gets bit, especially when you're around a shad spawn or bluegill. Throwing this little thing shallow here in the next few weeks, it's gonna get smashed. That's why I had to get another one. So this is Max Lure Crank X, little square bill. It's almost I guess it's like a Rayburn red pattern. I don't crawl, Rayburn red, whichever one you want to call it. There's something about throwing this color in a lipless, a square bill, a chatterbait, spinnerbait, wake bait, any kind of anything right now. Throw it in this color, late winter, early spring, up into late spring, and it just drives the fish mad. I don't know if it's the color. I don't know if it's the water clarity from all the rain. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this that gets smashed right now. And I will definitely be throwing this. I can assure you that. I don't know what sets them off, but something with this red this time of year. I've talked about this little spinnerbait in the past. This the Dobyns D-Blade. In my opinion, it's actually one of the best spinnerbaits on the market right now. I like the head profile, I like the hook, I like the blades, everything about it. It gets smashed. Gary Dobyns knows a little bit about catching fish, so you can kind of trust what he says. I mean, he can catch them pretty good. He knows how to make a decent rod. Just kidding, that guy is a beast for sure. If you haven't thrown one of these, you need to check them out. Put your little trailer on there and be ready to get smashed. Another one, almost the same, a little more chartreuse for dirtier water. A little lighter too, so if you're running a little shallower, you can throw this. And I think a lot of people get confused on throwing 3/8, half ounce, or 3/4. It's not about how deep you want to fish the bait. It's about how fast you want to retrieve it. So if this bait is 3/8 ounce and you throw it out and you do a slow retrieve, it's going to sink, say, 3 foot. If you throw this bait out and it's heavier and burn it, it's going to be 3 foot in the water column too, but it's going to be swimming by faster. So if you're looking for a reaction bite, throw something heavier. If you're bouncing something slowly, throw something lighter. I think these little hammer sticks right here by Lucky John will be good for a drop shot, a spinnerbait trailer, on a little jig head, bounce it around on a jig trailer, or what I'm probably going to do is use it on the back of an Alabama rig. I like that it doesn't have the big boot tail. It's not displacing a lot of water. But again, you could put it on here and not have as much displacement of water, but it should be enough to call some fish in. Or even a little ball head jig would work. Not really too much you got to say about these. Probably the best jig, chatterbait, spinnerbait trailer on the market. The end. Enough said, right? I do want to touch on this. A lot of people think this is strictly a saltwater gig, but if you have bass that are on deep structure, don't be scared to try this. It's different. Most people, at least in Georgia, aren't throwing big hair jigs. They're throwing rubber skirted jigs or football heads or something like that. It has a shad profile. Throw it out, let it sink, bounce it off the bottom, jerk it. I like to work it almost like a lipless or a jerk bait and let it bounce and flicker around through the water column. When the shads are in big bait balls and you throw this in the middle and it looks like it's dying down and you twitch it some, it gets smashed. I don't know if it says the size, but I'm not at all unhappy about this. But for all in all, with this box, even with my one lure I ordered on my own, all under $10. I don't see how you can beat that.